Good day. My name is Selena, and I am here to provide you the information that you requested about your data to help you move from a brick and mortar platform of sales to online video sales. I was able to access your database, and within your database, you had 16 tables of information. You had information on your customers. Particularly important was where they resided and when they paid for videos and when they rented videos. You also had information on your store and your staff. You obviously had information on your films and your inventory. You had asked for some data driven answers in order to assist you as you strategize for an online platform of sales. Some of the questions that you asked included if there was a difference between geographic regions with regard to sales. You also wanted to know where your customers were based. And you also wanted to know where those customers with a high lifetime value were based. There were a couple of other questions you needed answering that focused on your films. You wanted to know the average rental duration, and you also wanted to know the films that had the most and least revenue generated. So we're going to go ahead and start with your customers. You have 599 customers. You can see that there is a difference in sales by region. The Asian countries have more customers. As I was working on this project, someone in the group had a specific question that they wanted answered. I don't remember who asked it, but there was a need to know the top 10 countries where customers were based. And then within those top 10 countries, what were those top 10 cities? So I included that within this visual. And then following up, the person wanted to know the top 5 customers within those top 10 cities. So I have that information right here on this visual for you to see. So in this visual, the countries are uh, colored based on the number of customers. And then the green dots are based on the amount of money that was paid within that country by those customers. So if we were to look at the United States, we can see if I click here, United States is one of the top 10 countries, and it did have 2 of the top 10 cities within the country. And there is a customer within those cities, a Zachary Height. I also added, because I wasn't sure if you were going to change pricing, I also added in my mind the high lifetime value are customers who return over and over again and they have a high loyalty. So in the United States, there was someone, it was customer ID number 526. This person made 42 transactions and spent $208.58. And I'd like to point out in this that the high value of transactions, 45 transactions was the highest, and that was in the country of Runyon. The customer was customer number 148, and that person paid $211.55. If you look close at this, the other thing that's interesting is there aren't any customers in Australia. Now let's move on to your films. So you guys wanted to know which films generated the most revenue and which films generated the least revenue. So I have that here. I actually have the films named, and I only looked at films that made $140 or more. So those are the only ones that are listed. And I also looked at films that were not rented, so $0 to $99. So these films are down here. In looking at the average rental duration of all your films, it was kind of difficult because I wanted to have them in my mind grouped based on the category, like the type of film, because I thought we might be able to see a better pattern to know which ones had a high turnover rate, quick rentals to be able to make you more money. That did not work out well because the majority of the films did not have a category listed, so we don't know the type of film. All of the films did have a film rating, um, and it looks like, just glancing at it, you're pretty close to 5 days on average just looking at film rating. The other thing that I did in this is I also wanted to know your popular titles, because if you do change your pricing and you know which films are desired more, you could potentially make more money, or want to make sure you have those films within your online availability. The highest number of times a film was rented was 29. So I just kind of pieced this to 27 to 29 rentals would be your most popular ones. So if we start with your most revenue gain, we'll look at Telegraph Voyage. It was not considered popular, but it is a PG movie. Its average rental was 3 days. It was not in your least revenue, obviously, and we don't know the category of that film. If I go ahead and come down here to one of your least revenue generated, this movie was not rented at all. I don't know the category of it, and I just know that it's a PG-13 and the average rental was 5 days. And then if we go ahead and take a look at the popular ones, Juggler Hardy was rented 29 times at 99 cents a pop, and it's a PG-13. Its average rental duration was 4 days, and I don't know what category of film that it is. So this can help you out with knowing a little bit more about your films, um, and what you have available to you. Next, I want to go ahead and at least just look at your data a little bit so you know what you had in your database. So you have 599 customers. You have 1,000 films. Your average rental rate is $2.98. And then I just added some other bits of information here so you can see your most recent data within the system. Wanted you to know kind of the integrity of the data that you have in here. I can see that pretty much all of it's at 1,000 for your number of films, and your payments, 14,596 payments, and 16,044 films were rented. And that's kind of makes sense because you could rent more than one film at a time. So this is just a little bit of information for you so you can kind of see your data. And then lastly, I wanted to share some of my recommendations. I am very concerned about the data that you provided me. I don't believe that it's trustworthy. And the reason that I say that is you have global sales and only two physical stores. One was in Canada and one was in Australia, and you have no rentals in Australia. I just don't understand that. I don't know if basically your customers are people who vacation. I mean, that's the only thing I could come up with. So that didn't make too much sense to me. You only have two staff members. I'm not sure that that seems realistic as either. And then I don't understand this. Your most early rental date is 5/24 of 2005. And all of the films had a release date of 2006. So I don't know what release date means. I don't know if it means that that's when you guys had it and you released it. I don't know if it means that that's when the film was made and released. All I know is renting in 2005 a video or a film that had a release date of 2006 just doesn't make sense to me. And then when I look at when your films are returned, the dates are all in 2005, but your payments are in 2007. So I am quite skeptical about your data, and I'm not sure if it's the best thing to making your decisions on. I gave you what you have, so you'll at least see it, and I'm not sure where you would go from here. And I hope it maybe helps with your changing platforms to an online sales platform. Thank you.